that. That's good. Good morning. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Glad to see so many smiling faces. Was it a good night last night? A few beers, glass of wine, nice dinner. So I'm going to take about 10, 15 minutes to talk a little bit about ERP and the challenges with SAP. But an old mentor of mine used to say, start every presentation with a great quote. And this is one that's dear to my heart. In my office at home, it's up on the wall, and I look at it on a Monday morning, and I look at it again on a Friday afternoon. And you may look at it on a Monday morning and say, wow, you then look at your diary and go, my diary's back to back. How am I going to get through all of these meetings? I'm double booked and triple booked in places. But I look at the quote, and it says, it always seems impossible until it's done, by Nelson Mandela. And I get to the end of the week, and I look at the quote again, and I go, I got through it. Actually, it wasn't as bad as I thought. I was able to manage that. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the challenges with ERP and how they link to digital transformation. Those who are going through this right now may look at this quote and go, we have a lot of work to get through. This looks impossible. But you will get through, and it will get done. And because I'm a little bit weird and I like odd numbers, I like 3s and 5s versus and 2s and 4s. The third thing that I'm going to apply this to is we as a senior leadership team are going to do a little bit of karaoke tonight. And I need your help. We might be good at IT and good at running a business. We're not very good singers. And there's a little thing on the app where you can vote for your favorite song, the one that you want us to sing. My ask is, Neil Diamond, Sweet Caroline, please. So at the break, fire up the app. You can vote as many times as you want. You've already voted, do it again. Please help me out. And we'll have a little bit of fun tonight. ERP systems are at the core of large multinational organizations. If we step back a little bit to see where they came from, they started off as like inventory control systems, and anyone that's old enough to remember it will remember the old System 34s and 36s and 38s and the big old clunky green screens. And then they evolved through time. They became manufacturing resource planning MRPs, and then they became ERPs that we know today. And then in and around 2010, the cloud came along and everybody wanted to move stuff to the fluffy cloud. So ERPs then linked into that. And now here, over the last couple of days, we've been talking about AI. So there's a lot coming at these. The challenge with, no matter what flavor of ERP system you have, they are your indispensable tool for running your business. If they go down, everybody complains. Nothing happens. The challenge with ERP systems is, when they were deployed inside your organization, you knew your business process. They were aligned to that, or in some cases, you had to change your business process to how your ERP system worked. Fast forward throughout the years, and I've been in this situation myself in a previous role, where I needed to go and pull an install base of North America. And I went to the guy who's really good at getting reports out of the ERP system. And I said, can you write me a report? And he pulled together a report, and it all looked fantastic. And I said, can you extract that to Excel for me? Because I want to start adding more data into it, to put it into a pivot chart, to drop it into a PowerPoint slide that's going to become a PDF that's going to go to the board. And he did that for me. But I was adding more data into it, and I was breaking the integrity of the data of the ERP system. That's happening more and more. We saw it yesterday with other applications that link into this. And the challenge you have is, what's the version of the truthful data inside the ERP? The whole idea of one version of the truth then becomes decoupled. Anyone who is SAP or S/4HANA has a bit of a challenge right now. S/4HANA is SAP's flagship product. It's a cloud-based solution, and it's to drive digital transformation for the organization. And a lot of organizations out there will be saying, we want to do some digital transformation. It's like AI, we need to transform, which is absolutely the right thing to do. If you have a traditional SAP application, and I've spoken to a number of customers here over the last few days that have that, you have a problem. And that problem is that support is going to end for that traditional version of SAP in 2025 or 2027, depending on whichever flavor you have. And you have to do something. Doing nothing is not an option. It's a bit of a double negative, but you know what I mean. Change has to happen. And there was a survey done recently of customers that are in this particular situation, SAP to S/4HANA. And about 40% of them are using this as an opportunity, as a vehicle to drive digital transformation inside their organization. The other 60% of people are just doing a lift and shift, which to me is a missed opportunity. You're going to have to do an awful lot of work to move to S/4HANA, the right thing to do. But let's use that as an opportunity to align and drive some digital transformation. How do we drive digital transformation? Now, I only have about 10, 15 minutes, so this is a very high-level view of how we go about doing that. Most of us arrived here by plane. Some had the lucky opportunity to drive down or come by train, but most of us flew down here. And digital transformation for an organization, it's like flying the plane while changing the engines. I came from Dublin, Ireland. It's like looking out through the window and seeing something change the engines as you're coming across the Atlantic. The challenge is you have to land the plane, and the plane takes off again, and you have to keep changing and building the engine out. If you look at a digital transformation project in any organization, it's a difficult thing to do. Why? Because people choose the easy thing, and the easy thing to do is just keep running your business. Don't focus on strategy and transformation and where you want to get to, because you're running flat out actually keeping the lights on. It's kind of like patting your belly and rubbing your head, or rubbing your head and patting your belly. Give it a go. It's a difficult thing to do. But if you break the problem down and say, right, this group of people, I want you to focus on rubbing your belly, and this group of people over here, I want you to focus on patting your head, it's an easier thing to do. You're putting people into boxes. You're actually challenging them and saying, this is what I want you to do. Do nothing else, just focus on this. You break digital transformation down into run and transform. So you take a team and you say, your job is to keep the lights on. Do nothing else. Run my infrastructure, my enterprise application. Don't do anything else. This team over here, I want you to help drive the transformation that we have across the organization. Transformation is a difficult thing to do, especially in an ERP world, because if you go back to when your original ERP application was deployed, you had all the business process diagrams. They existed. Now, the first thing that transformation team has to do is go and effectively write the user manual for your organization. How does data flow through your organization? How does it work? How do you take a lead to an opportunity to quote, and a quote and getting cash in through the door? How does your treasury department work? How do you keep all of the data running? How do you look after your customers? They have to write the user manual. And then the next step is, how do we get faster? How does that land inside the target application? The key thing is to keep the run team running and the transform team transforming. But like landing the plane in Orlando, it has to go back to Dublin. At some point in time, the transformation team has to bring and merge with the run team. And how you do that is management of change inside your organization. Have a thread that pulls through your org. This is where we want to get to. Here's what digital transformation means for us. And bring that down through the different or departments inside your organization so they know what the goal is overall. Because at some point in time when you deploy your new application, be it S/4HANA, the run team's going to have to pick this up and run it. How does Stibo help with digital transformation? Talk about reducing complexity. In the simplistic world, I talk about taking clicks out of the process. If it takes 25 mouse clicks to get something done, can we do it in 15? Very simple way of doing it, but it's a good way of measuring it. Reducing complexity means mastering your data, consolidating your data before you move across from SAP to S/4HANA, effectively getting it in shape, before you do a lift and shift into the new platform. If you do that in the right way, and you create strong governance around it, to stop the people like me saying, I want that in an Excel spreadsheet, and I'm going to add more data into it, and it's going to go to the board in a PDF. If you provide more governance around that, it helps reduce business risk. And the good thing is, if you get your data correct, and what you've taken across is the right data aligned to your business, it's taken out all of the redundant stuff you no longer need. You feed that into your S4HANA application. S4HANA's got a set of AI tools. It's got a set of advanced analytic solutions as well. Because in order to have good AI, you need to have good data. I was asked by someone the other day, so we've gone through distributed, centralized, thin client, thick client, client server. We're now looking at AI. What's coming next? And I said, well, if I knew that, I wouldn't be here. I'd be a multi-billionaire somewhere. I'd be the next Warren Buffett of IT or whatever it's going to be. But one thing I can tell you is if you look back to ERP from the 60s to where we are now, all applications run on data. Data has to be good. So the better data you have inside your organization, the better decisions you can make. Yesterday, Adrian talked about trustworthy data. Stibo Systems can help you do that. It can help you give you confidence in your data. If we apply that through the lens of an ERP application, we talk about integrated, we talk about optimized, we talk about future-proofed. Integrated, clean, standardized data, driving accurate decision-making across your organization. Optimized, seamless integration of new data sources. The bloke here who says, that's really good, but I want to add this on so I can extrapolate that out and do something for the board. You can manage new data streams as they come on board. And from an S4HANA perspective, you're future-proofing. Flexible data to drive long-term scalability while aligning to short-term agility. Because if you do this in the right way, better data gets you better output. Better output gets you better business, and better business gets you a better world.